Now they switch to Oster. Runner at second, 2 out. You don't want to miss any opportunities. And he hits it up the middle. Now we're going to have a play at the plate. Dave Henderson throws. He is safe. The Reds get a run.
A one-run ball game.
4-3 A's, bottom of the 8th. And a ball up the middle. And will they get a double play? No, and we are tied. A run wins it for Cincinnati. 4-4, bottom of the 9th. Pretty well hit. Henderson has it 2 out. What a great play by Rickey Henderson. When he runs at second with 1 out. And the batter is Joe Oliver. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none. A 5-4 Cincinnati victory.
Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight in the middle.
In the deep left center. For Mitchell. And we'll see.
She is gone.
Throws to first in time. Ball game over. World Series over.
This is second World Series for Danny Jackson. He pitched for Kansas City. Won a vital game against St. Louis. And a base hit by Rickey Henderson. He shattered the bat, but starts the game with a bang. A base hit for Henderson.
Starts a game with a bang and a crack. And that's what Danny Jackson will do. He will try to get inside on the right-handed hitters. Jim Cott mentioned that before the game. This is the slider inside. And as you see, right below the trademark, and Rickey Henderson is on. And that could spell trouble for Cincinnati.
So we'll watch Danny Jackson work to try to keep Rickey Henderson close. Stole 65 bases during the season. There he goes. And no chance. And a stolen base for Henderson. Boy, did he kind of lured Jackson. He took a short lead. And Jackson said, well, he's not going to go. And the next thing you know, zip, he was gone.
It was that walking lead right there. When that right foot came down, it's timing and no play on Rickey Henderson. His 18th stolen base in postseason play.
Now to Carney Lansford, and he bunts the ball, and Danny Jackson has to make a good play, and he did, and the runner to third. The infield is in, Tim. What do you think of this here in the very first inning?
Lou Piniella pulled the infield in the other night, 2 runs ahead of Pittsburgh in game 3. Actually, game 1, I believe. 2 runs ahead in the second inning.
And Seiko takes ball 1. He might spin one of these infielders around when they're. How'd you like to be Sabo right now? Tony La Russa trying to jump out in front here in the first. And it's ball 2 low. They sort of pitched around Jose a couple of times last night and got Mark McGwire.
If you don't want to pitch around guys in the first inning, you get too many base runners, and with these mashers over here, instead of solo and 2-run homers, you have 3- and 4-run homers.
And the ground ball to Morris. He boots it. The run scores, and out at first, and an RBI for Canseco, and Oakland jumps on top 1-0. The runner was not going to try to score until Morris booted the ball.
Rickey rally. That's what Tony La Russa calls it, a Rickey rally. Base hit, stolen base, third on the sacrifice, and watch him score on this ground ball right side. As Jack said, he didn't go right away, but great instincts along with great speed plates the first athletic runner of this series.
And now McGwire, who took the collar last night, 0 for 3, hits it to right and right at Paul O'Neill. He lost it in the lights, and that's a base hit for McGwire. We've seen that frequently in this park. It was an easy play, but O'Neill lost it in the lights. And a base hit is credited.
R.J. Reynolds, the right fielder of the Pittsburgh Pirates, lost one in the lights. And that's what Paul O'Neill does. He has a bead on it and now misses it, but he does recover nicely to prevent it from going over his head.
And McGwire reaches with 2 out, and Dave Henderson is up. He was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter last night. And a half swing and a foul. Strike 1. This fella had 20 home runs during the year, and he could make this a big first inning for the A's. And the pitch goes inside to even the count. The Oakland A's 26-7 in games in which Henderson has scored in the first inning. And with a fella like Bob Welch pitching tonight, it might happen again. outside to Dave Henderson. He has a look to see if perhaps they want to start the runner. That's McGuire at first with 2 out. And a base hit to right field by Henderson. McGuire stops at second base, and that's 3 hits in the inning against Danny Jackson. And to Larkin. Force out, 1 run for Oakland, 3 hits. They left 2. Bob Welch to the mound. The A's lead it 1-0 for 4 last night. Welch gets a breaking ball in there to start the first inning. Last night it was Cincinnati scoring the first runs of the game on the Eric Davis homer in the first inning. Tonight the A's lead 1-0. Breaking ball and a foul. Strike 2. Welch, 33 years old. He's been pitching professionally since 1977, a long-time Dodger. On the bench, Dave Stewart. He'll get another chance in this series. Fastball hit into right field into the corner. Canseco can't get there. That's a ground rule double. And Canseco did not see that ball. Did not.
How in the world does Barry Larkin get on top of this pitch? This pitch is eye high. Canseco gets a bad jump on the ball. Didn't appear that he saw it well. And the ball kept carrying and carrying and carrying for a ground rule double.
Larkin perched at second, nobody out. Welch would relish the strikeout here. Pickoff play, and Larkin got back in. He's a good base runner who swiped 30 bases during the season.
Mike Gallego slipping in behind Barry Larkin. The daylight play. When the pitcher sees daylight between the shortstop and the runner, he throws to second.
And that ball will advance the runner and tie the game. And Hatcher gets 2, and he's thinking about 3 now as Canseco fell down and now back to second base. We're tied 1-1. Jose having his problems out in right field.
Oh, the crowd's back in the game. Good things happen with good approaches. 2 strikes protecting away. Look at Hasse move away. Billy Hatcher realizing that even if this ball is at McGuire, he advances the runner. It gets by McGuire, and Canseco has all sorts of problems on the carom. He slipped right there, and the Athletics are really having a problem with this artificial surface. Watch Hatcher. He had an idea about third. He picks up the third base coach. Sammy Palazzo over at third holds him up.
Now Paul O'Neill, and ball 1 to him. That hit by Hatcher, his 4th hit in 2 nights, his 3rd double. He's at second, nobody out, and now it's O'Neill's job to move him along. And he fouls it out of play, 1-1. Frequently O'Neill will go the other way, but he wants to pull it here. Larkin perched on the bench. He started it with a double and scored. We're tying 1-1 in the first. And 1-1 to O'Neill. Ball 2. In the very right field corner of this park, you can see the different color turf. It's still damp out there. And that's what got Canseco. But it would have been a double anyhow. He did prevent the triple. Ball 3. O'Neill hits it to center field. The runner tags as Dave Henderson will make the catch. There goes Hatcher for third, and he is safe at third, 1 out.
Even though Dave Henderson was deep, he gets in the proper throwing position. A fine throw by Dave, but no way to get Hatcher So Paul O'Neill does the job advancing the runner. Good job by O'Neill.
Hatcher at third, one out. The infielders are deep at second and short as Eric Davis bats. Look out, ball one. Boo, says the crowd. A ground ball to second or short will put Cincinnati on top.
There's no way that there is any intent on this pitch. You don't knock a guy down with a guy at third base because the ball may get by the catcher.
High to Davis again, and that's ball two. Davis was 2 for 4 last night. 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. There's one sitting out there for him now. Ground ball to short. The run scores. Cincinnati leads. Out at first, 2 gone.
What you're seeing so far, a different philosophy between 2 managers from the same area, both from Tampa, but different baseball philosophies. With nobody out in the top of the first, the infield was in for Cincinnati with Henderson at third, Tony La Russa, and then the infield back, and the Reds take the lead.
Here's Hal Morris, 1 for 4 last night against the strong right-handed pitching staff of Oakland. The Reds want to get some hitting from O'Neill and Morris, left-handed hitters. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. 2 out, and the base is empty. Well, Oakland got 1. The Reds came back with 2. Good play by Lansford. And a fine throw. An excellent play, and he took a double away from Morris. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Reds. We played 1 exciting inning here on CBS Sports. 2-1 Cincinnati. He was 0 for 1 last night as a pinch hitter. And because he catches Welch most of the time, he has to bat against the left-hander Danny Jackson. And Jackson falls behind ball 2.
Hasse has caught 66 of the last 68 games that Bob Welch has started, and that's why he's in there against the left-hander Danny Jackson.
And he was jammed, and he hit it to Jackson. That's a wonderful play and a bad throw. Hasse's going to end up at second base with nobody out. Now he's going to go to third, perhaps. No, he comes back. And Jackson backed up third. Did we have some action on that play? It was a good fielding play by Jackson to get to the ball, and then he threw it away for what I'm sure will be an error.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be fielding that ball. Sabo should run him off the ball. Sabo's going toward first base. Even though it's nice to see a pitcher extend like that, watch where Sabo comes into the picture. There he is right there. And that's Sabo's ball. I mean, you have a guy like Ron Hasse, even though Sabo was deep, you have him easily at first base. But Jackson, because he got there, made the off-balance throw and throws it into right field for a 2-base error.
So just like that, the tying runs at second, nobody out, and the batter is Mike Gallego. Trying to hit to right, he fouls the ball. Strike 1. Gallego 0 for 4 last night. And the infielders in a step at second and short. And Sabo even with the base at third, guarding against the bunt. They play Gallego to the right side. There's strike 2, and Jackson with the pitcher coming up next could use a strikeout here.
That's that slider on the inside. That's about where he likes it, right on the hands. You brought up an interesting point. If Gallego goes to the right side, because Hasse is such a slow runner, you may see a guy like Duncan try to get him at third. This is a spot to do it.
Runner at second, nobody out. Time called by the batter.
See, on the artificial surface, the ball gets to the infielders so quickly that if it is indeed hit sharply to the other side, because of that and because of Hassey's speed, he is not a fast runner, the infielders may think about going to third.
And he does advance the runner, and Larkins play to first for the first out of the inning. Good piece of hitting by Gallego. And Hassey ends up at third, 1 out, and the first thing that pops into your mind when Bob Welch comes up is the squeeze play.
I wonder if they have one.
Because their pitchers don't hit during the regular season.
They don't have one where the pitchers know anything about it, and obviously this is a situation where you bring the infield in. Certainly that squeeze, a viable option for Tony La Russa.
And it's easier to pull off against a left-handed pitcher. Bob Welch, by the way, enjoys hitting. You wouldn't classify him as an excellent hitter. But when he wore the Dodger uniform, he had a chance to swing the bat. He had a long look at Latchman, the third base coach. That's the tying run at third, 1 out. And that's ball 2 to Welch.
I don't think I'd squeeze here because Rickey Henderson is such a hot hitter. Even if Welch makes an out, even if he strikes out, you've got Henderson batting with a runner at third. Sure, he's got to get a base hit to score the runner, but he has been swinging a red-hot bat, 4 for 6 in the series.
That's assuming they're going to get Bob Welch, and the count is 2 balls, no strikes. Time called again. This inning started with an error. And there's Hassey at third with 1 gone. Tying run. Ball 3. He wouldn't walk the pitcher, would he? There's one thing that Danny Jackson has to accustom himself to here. And that's the umpiring, the strike zone of Rocky Rowe, the American League umpire. That was down the middle, 3-1. Welch with another long look at the coach, who then talks to the runner. And Welch hits a line drive to Morris. That's a bad break for Welch in Oakland, and that's his second out. Right at Morris, who was pulled in. So Piniella has another out to get.
Welch hits it fairly well off the end of the bat. He fades it a bit. And Morris is right there. I think Tony La Russa likes these odds. Rickey Henderson against a left-handed pitcher. Rickey Henderson, another hot playoff against the Red Sox, batting .294, and he's 4 for 6 in the World Series.
He started this game with a base hit, swiped a base, and scored a run. Ball 1 low to him.
Also, Jack, there's a big difference in a hitter that can run batting with a runner at third and 2 outs, because the infield base hit looms large here also. That should score Hassey.
And the third baseman has to play in tighter. And there's a strike. It caught the corner. That's typical of the pitching of Jackson. That's where he enjoys pitching.
That's where he pitched Henderson the first time, and Henderson got a base hit to right center.
Reds leading 2-1. Runner at third, 2 out. 2 balls and a strike. Rickey drove home 61 runs this season. Strike, and it's 2-2.
I think you folks at home have realized by now the obsessiveness with which Jackson throws inside. He loves to get right-handers out inside with both the fastball and the slider.
Foul ball keeps Rickey up there with a 2-2 count. Travel day tomorrow, and action from the Oakland Coliseum Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night if necessary. Opponents are hitless in the last 25 at-bats with runners in scoring position in postseason. See if Jackson keeps that string alive. And a broken back ground ball to Sabo. And the Reds Reds still lead. No runs, 1 hit. One error, 1 left. Oakland has left 3. They trail 2-1, and they trail by a run. And Sabo takes strike 1. Sabo had a hit last night.
That long swing by Rickey Henderson, by the way, also supplies his power too, so you can't change it.
And up high to Sabo, 1-1. This batter was the leading home run hitter for Cincinnati this season with 25. Downstairs, ball 2. Sabo, Oliver, and Duncan in this inning for the Reds. Breaking ball in the strike zone, 2-2.
Hey, when you can get 2-1 curveballs over, you're doing something.
And that foul ball by Sabo, 2-2 the count. Now Welch does have a variety of pitches and effective pitches, 27 wins. And he got Sabo. He can get people out in a lot of fashions. 0 for 4 last night. Breaking ball missed, and Hasse looks back at the umpire and says, "Were you watching?" Ball 2.
That's a pitch you don't often get anymore in either league. That ball right below the letters, technically a strike. Every umpire has his own strike zone, however.
Bouncing ball to Lansford. And 2 out. Mariano Duncan will come up. Ball 1 to Duncan. He was 1 for 3 last evening.
The flash is back, huh?
The flash is back.
Right.
This fellow was a flash during the season, hitting .306 for the Reds. 1-1. He'd like to get on to allow the pitcher to bat in the second inning. Welch has retired 5 in a row. And a foul as he jammed him. 1-2.
The only time Bob Welch comes down in the strike zone is with his split finger fastball and his curveball. All of his fastballs are designed to get hitters out up. He really doesn't worry about it. We told you Danny Jackson inside and outside. Bob Welch is upstairs with the heater.
Just missed on the corner. Welch 2 years ago 17-9. Last year 17-8. This season 27-6. Runs the count full.
Saw Ron Hasse telling Bob Welch, just take it easy. I think one thing that Dave Duncan, the pitching coach, has done is really work on the mental attitude of Bob Welch, a very hyper young man.
Ball 4 got away from Welch. So Duncan does arrive at first and allows Jackson to pitch, and here's the other Duncan, Dave, the pitching coach of the A's. That's the last thing Welch wanted to do, with walk Duncan.
Yeah, and that's why I think the curveball on that count's a bad pitch. A 3-2 curveball to your 8-hole hitter with 2 out and nobody on. Of course, Welch and Hasse have confidence in that pitch. What are the chances of Duncan hitting a home run? He batted .227 against right-handers this year. So I think that was a time to challenge Duncan and not finesse him.
Danny Jackson takes a strike. There are 2 very nice people on the left. It is the Commissioner of Baseball, Fay Vincent, visiting with Barbara Bush. And the count 1-1 to Jackson.
Mrs. Bush throwing out the first pitch. That's one of the nice things about being a catcher. You get to catch the first pitch from a lot of people like Barbara Bush and a lot of entertainers and a lot of politicians and everything. One of the perks of being a catcher.
Jackson fouled it. He had a pretty good swing at that one, didn't he, Tim?
Bob Welch winning 27. Most games since Steve Carlton won 27 back in 1972. Denny McClain with that big year, winning 31 in 1968 for the Detroit Tigers.
Jackson had only 2 hits during the regular season, and that breaking ball got him and ended the inning. 1 left for the Reds after the walk. We played 2. And Cincinnati leads it 2-1. And Cincinnati leads it 2-1. First up, Carney Lansford. Sacrificed his first time. Faces Danny Jackson. Strike 1 to Carney, who had 2 for 4 last night and has hit well against this pitcher during his career. Will be the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters: Lansford, Canseco, and McGuire. Fly ball for the center fielder Billy Hatcher. 1 out. That's 4 in a row retired by the Cincinnati hurler, and Hatcher is having himself a wonderful series. He's 4 for 4. Jose drove in a run with an infield out in the first. He's 0 for 3. Hasn't hit many home runs lately. Ball 1.
That's a danger area, down and in. Talking to Lou Piniella before the game tonight. Hey, if you try to jam big league hitters, you want to jam them at the hands. Lou Piniella says they train their pitchers not to go down and in, and that's where Jackson has just missed twice. If you missed a Canseco down and in, he can hit this ball out of the stadium. I mean, this guy can hit a ball down and in, as most hitters can. All you do is just drop the head of the bat on it.
Left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
2-0. Into the opposite field, and that ball might tie the game, and it does. Canseco made it look easy, and it's 2-2. Mrs. Canseco is happy about that one. And so are the A's fans. And the Cincinnati fans boo him for spoiling their evening to this point. Now a fan threw the ball back on the field.
Just like they do at Wrigley Field for the Cubs games. That's becoming a fashionable thing to do in all ballparks. Just throw it back. It used to be a ball was a souvenir. Not so anymore. Here's a World Series souvenir. They threw it back.
Such affluence.
Yeah. Such unselfishness by the fans.
2 runs on 4 hits for Oakland, and the A's would like to get McGuire started in the power department. Hits it hard past the third baseman Sabo, and McGuire's 2 for 2. By the way, Oakland had gone 5 games without hitting a home run, and Jose broke that streak.
None in the LCS and none last night, and now McGuire's on. I'll tell you, it's scary when you hit a ball that far the other way, because when you hit a ball the other way, you don't have your body behind it. You hit it with your arms. Now granted, Canseco has big arms, not that big. I mean, that ball shot out of here.
He did it easily,
yeah.
And now Dave Henderson is up. And the A's have 5 hits. That ball is popped up foul and out of play. Pat O'Brien, you never looked better.
Thank you very much, Jack. And Esther Canseco looks very lovely tonight here. And I was just asking Esther about Jose's finger, and I guess it's okay.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
I guess so.
Good thing you were ignoring me and watching that.
Yeah, that was just great. Fantastic.
Well, congratulations. We'll talk to you later tonight. Back to you guys.
And ball outside evens the count to Dave Henderson. 1-1. Pat O'Brien looked good in that company, didn't he?
I'll say.
Henderson singled his first time. Couldn't pull the trigger. He's in the hole. They move in a step at second and short, trying for the double play, and against left-handers, well, Dave Henderson's batting average zooms high. McGuire the runner. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jose has just tied this game with an opposite field home run. Ball 3 to Dave Henderson. Now the runner with 1 out might go. What do you think, Tim?
Oh, absolutely. The speed of the runner really doesn't matter on a 3-2 count. What's important is how much contact the hitter makes. And Dave Henderson against Danny Jackson, he'll make contact more than likely.
Runner not going, and a foul keeps it 3-2. Well, I wonder why Tony La Russa went that way.
I'm surprised. One of the ancillary things that you do stay out of the double play. But you also have that runner going. He could get to third base on a base hit that he normally wouldn't be on third. That's the advantage of sending him. The only disadvantage is a strikeout. You have a good matchup, lefty against a righty.
Still not going, and ball 4. So that is the first walk given by Danny Jackson. First and second, 1 out. And Lou Piniella sends somebody down to the bullpen. Scott Scudder warms up for the second time tonight. Runner's going. Ball 4 loads him up. Second walk by Jackson, both in this inning. And because the left-handed batter Hasse is coming up, Jackson apparently is going to get an opportunity to pitch.
Lou Piniella just put 2 fingers up and telling the middle infielders to play for 2, and that's why the middle infielders are in double play depth and not in to cut off the run. You have a slow runner at the plate, so if he does hit a ground ball fairly hard to the middle infielders, you'll get your double play. 3 for 33 against left-handers this year is Ron Hasse.
Ball 1. McGuire the lead runner. Jackson has walked the last 2, and he can't find his best stuff. A home run, a single, and 2 walks in this inning, and Jackson behind on the count. Ball 2. As the catcher visits Jackson, we see Mark McGuire at third. Dave Henderson at second, and Willie Randolph at first base. Jim Kahn, what are you thinking down there?
Well, Jack and Tim, you know, Tim referred to the strike zone earlier. Every hitter establishes their own strike zone, and every umpire does also. This has nothing to do with their ability, but the scouting report on Rocky Rowe in the American League is he is a hitter's umpire, and I think there's a lot of close pitches tonight that Danny Jackson is looking in, wondering why they aren't strikes, and it's bothering him back upstairs.
He's going to have to come to Hasse here. 2 balls, no strikes. And a fly ball for Eric Davis, and the runner tags. And the throw home is wide of the mark, and the A's take the lead 3-2. So Hasse didn't give Cincinnati the double play they were hoping for. And McGuire scores. The A's have tied it and taken the lead here in the 3rd inning, 3-2.
You know, Jack, so much depends on the count. By running deeper in the count and falling that much further behind, then a hitter knows what area he's going to get a ball. He knows he's going to get a strike. If you, for instance, if you throw Ron Hasse the same pitch on the first pitch, he probably doesn't hit it as hard to left and drive the run in.
And might try to pull it and hit into the double play.
Yeah, right. But with the count 2-0, he had to come, Jackson had to come right to Hasse, and Ron drives in the run to put the Athletics ahead.
Kind of looked like he got the pitch in the location that he was thinking about. So McGuire scores the lead run. And the batter is Gallego, seeking his first hit in the series. He could widen the lead. 2 on, 2 out. Throw to first, and a wild throw. 1 runner advances. So Joe Oliver commits an error, sending Dave Henderson to third. Second Cincinnati boot of the night. They were trying to catch Willie Randolph sleeping down there. Willie stayed at first as Henderson scooted to third.
Well, what that does, it opens up second base, and now the possibility of a double steal with the light hitting Gallego up. Mike only hit .206 during the year, but good career numbers against Jackson.
3-2. The A's are leading here in the third, and these Cincinnati fans are quiet. It's been a tough game for Jackson so far. And that's ball one to Gallego to even the count 1-1. Crowd not only quiet but restless. You can hear him groaning down there.
The only possible sign Gallego can be looking for is a steal sign. So that's a sign that he's looking for in which he is not involved. If Randolph does go, Oliver's got to know what he's going to do with the ball. Is he going to throw through or not?
Gallego drills one into center to add to the lead. His first hit of the series, and it's 4-2. Ooh, say the fans. They don't like what's going on here, and the Oakland fans love it. They lead 4-2, and if they let Bob Welch get any further out in front, well, this one is going to be over early. Here comes Stan Williams. He'll make the switch. RBI hit by Gallego, making it 4-2. He drilled it into center field as Jackson was again behind on the count, and that hit brings Scott Scudder into the game. And Scott Scudder, 5-5 during the year, into pitch to Bob Welch. And the first pitch low. Welch lined out his first time. And I'm sure Welch would have preferred to hit against the left-hander rather than Scudder. 2 on, 2 out. Oakland's already left 3, but they lead 4-2. That's ball 2.
You might say that big deal Canseco hit a solo homer. How can that spawn a rally for the Athletics? Well, it just wakes everybody up. Not only that he hit a home run, but the dimensions and the awesome right field, opposite field power by Canseco.
2 balls and a strike. Jim Cott, what's going on?
Well, Lou Piniella giving Rocky Rowe a piece of his mind. Doesn't like the strike zone either.
2 balls and a strike to count to Welch. And a foul back here makes it 2-2. Welch feeling good about the runs the A's have scored here in the third, and there's the plate umpire. And he might be, I don't have an opinion myself, might be squeezing the pitcher over at second base. It's Willie Randolph, and Gallego with the 2-out hit is on at first. And Welch, did he go around? No, says the umpire at first. Well, I certainly thought he swung the bat. It's a full count of 3-2. I really did.
I thought his body went around. Let's see if it. I thought his body went around.
And he did strike him out in the inning. He wrote it. Darian Larkin had a double and scored in the first. We'll see if the Reds can come back against this 27-game winner. The back-to-back doubles by Larkin and Hatcher, their only hits of the game, plus a walk to Duncan in the second. And ball 1 to Larkin.
The one thing the Reds have going for them, away from the Coliseum in Oakland, Bob Welch gave up about 2 runs a game more than he did at the Coliseum. His earned run average under 2 in Oakland.
And the shot into right field in front of Canseco. Larkin is 2 for 2.
Something you may have overlooked. You remember the walk to Mariano Duncan back in the second inning?
Correct.
It allowed Danny Jackson to hit. That allows Barry Larkin to lead off the inning. Some of those little things are missed occasionally, but we said it last night. When you get your first batter on, there's a 51% chance that he'll score. If he's on with 1 out, a 16% chance. And here Larkin's on with nobody out.
And Hatcher is up and Welch steps out. Not only that, it kept Lou Piniella from making a double switch when he brought in Scudder from the bullpen to relieve Danny Jackson. And a strike to Hatcher. He doubled, drove home a run, and scored a run in the first. He's the tying run at the plate. It's 4 for 4 with a walk in this series. Lou Piniella in a jam here early, trailing 4-2 third inning. pretty well hit ball into the gap. And a bad break for Cincinnati on the ground rule double. But the tying runs are at second and third with nobody out. Larkin would have scored had the ball stayed in play. And Hatcher is 5 for 5.
4 doubles. He's been on base 6 straight times. Billy Hatcher with his 4th double in 5 at-bats. And Barry Larkin scores easily on this ball, as Jack said, but unfortunately it bounces over the fence, a ground rule double, but there are no outs.
I'm sure the Oakland fans were happy to see that ball hit the turf and jump high and go out of play. The batter is O'Neill, flying to center his first time. Now the fans are back in this game. And a fly ball to short left. The runners will not move. 1 out. O'Neill couldn't get around on Welch, but frequently he does hit the ball in that area.
Well, see, you know, you think about it, with a runner at second and nobody out, you try to pull the ball. With a runner on second and third and nobody out, if you pull the ball, you not only score a runner, but you move the runner to third. You do 2 good things, get an RBI with just 1 at bat. And that's the one thing, try to be productive. If you're going to make an out, try to make it on the right side of the field.
So that was not a good at bat for Paul O'Neill, and here's Eric Davis. He grounded to short his first time and drove in a run. And he was late on that one. It would not be beyond Bob Welch to pitch out of this jam. He's already picked up the first out.
They try to pitch Eric Davis above the hands. That means high. And when you talk about high, you have to go with a high fastball. We'll see how Welch works it.
Foul on a half swing, strike 2, and that high fastball is one of the strengths of Bob Welch. And he certainly could use the strikeout. Runner at third base is Larkin. And the red hot Billy Hatcher at second. 1 out. Eric Davis in the hole, 0-2. Right back to the pitcher, and the runners stay. 2 out. Al Morris for Cincinnati needs a 2-out hit. And a foul keeps him up there. That ball really whistled into the seats. These fans, by the way, are very close to the action here. Not at all like Oakland, where there's plenty of room to chase foul balls. It's a different sort of park. Morris is 1 out of 5 in series play. Single by Larkin at the start of the inning. A double by Hatcher, and the bad break on the ground rule double. O'Neill retired. Davis retired. 2-2 to Morris. To the third baseman, Lansford. The inning's over, and a tough inning for Cincinnati. They left 2, they've left 3, and after 3 they trail 4-2. Chris Sabo leads off and flies into right field for Jose Canseco. 1 out here in the 4th inning, with Oakland leading by the score of 4-2. Four in a row set down by Welch, who will pitch to Joe Oliver. Each team has had men on base in each half inning. And the Reds wasted a great opportunity in the 3rd. Had runners at second and third, nobody out, and didn't score.
There's Tom Browning, the starting pitcher in Friday night's contest in Oakland.
Blowing away from Welch, 2-1 down the Bird.
I think one of the early strategic moves that was favorable was the move, as you see, Rene Lachemann keeping the Oakland chart, but it was a favorable move by Lou Piniella, pitching Browning on Friday night and not here in Cincinnati. The reason for that is Browning's propensity to throw fly balls. He threw more fly ball outs than any major league pitcher.
Oliver gets one into the gap with one man out. His first hit in the World Series. He ends up at second with one out. That's the fifth hit against Bob Welch.
4 doubles, 2 by Hatcher, 1 by Larkin, and now 1 by Oliver. I'll tell you, when a hitter goes back through the middle or the other way, he's got to keep that front shoulder in there. Joe Oliver, normally a pull hitter. So you become a much better hitter when you try to hit the ball back through the box, and that's what Oliver appeared to be doing there.
Well, the batter now is Duncan. And ball 1, and after Duncan, the pitcher. For that reason, there's more activity in the bullpen with Jack Armstrong. A 1-out double by Joe Oliver. The Reds have left 3. Oakland, after stranding 11 last night, has left 7 in the first 4 innings here. 7 come 11. Duncan fouls it, 1-1. Todd Benzinger, the likely pinch hitter for Scudder. Plenty of action in this one, and the A's leading 4-2, 4th inning. Duncan had 10 home runs during the season. It's it to Gallego. That's the second out. Gallego playing short with Walt Weiss out of this World Series. Now they switch to Oster. And he will bat for Scudder. Runner at second, 2 out. You don't want to miss any opportunities, Tim.
Ron Oster, the hero in Friday night's game, a pinch hit in the 7th inning. He eventually scored on a pinch hit by Luis Quiñones when Cincinnati beat the Pirates 2-1 to clinch the National League pennant. He's from Cincinnati. He is not sure whether his contract will be renewed this year. Cincinnati has the option. And I guess Dave Duncan out to talk to Bob Welch about his options.
Just reminding his pitcher about how to pitch to Oster. And Mark McGuire comes in on that conversation.
I'll tell you, in the pinch hit department, Cincinnati really has some flexibility. They have Oster, Benzinger, and Quiñones, all of whom are switch hitters. So as far as Tony La Russa is concerned, he obviously knows that you can't right and left the Cincinnati Reds pinch hitting core.
Runner is at second with 2 out, and Oster bats from the left side against Welch. And fouls the first one away. Each team continues to put men on base in each half inning. Well, we've had a long but interesting battle here at Riverfront Stadium. Ball 1 strike. And a chopper foul. 1-2.
Ron Oster had his knee torn up when Mookie Wilson, now at the Toronto Blue Jays, Mookie was with the Mets back in 1986. A severe injury to Oster. He was out 1.5 years rehabilitating that knee and has made a remarkable comeback and has hooked on another 2 or 3 years to his career.
Yeah, he had a terrible injury and a very serious operation. And he hits it up the middle. Now we're going to have a play at the plate. Dave Henderson throws. He is safe. The Reds get a run. Oster down to second with 2 out.
Some daring coaching by Sam Palazzo, the third base coach, sending the slow-footed Joe Oliver. Dave Henderson makes a throw. It looks like he can't believe it. That's an in-between hop, the toughest hop for a catcher to handle. If you leave the plate and catch it on the short hop, you have to come back for the tag. You can't back up to get a good hop. Literally between a rock and a hard place. And a hard place the Athletics are in right now, a one-run ball game.
Tying run at second, 2 out, and Larkin takes a strike. There was no error charged on the play. They figured Oster would have taken second on the play at the plate anyhow.
Well, you know, he had stopped at first base. So I think an error should be given on the throw home. He had stopped at first base, and now an error is flashed up there.
And the pitch just misses to Larkin. So the A's have made 1 error, and the Reds have made 2. Oliver was huffing and puffing trying to get home, and he did. It's 4-3 now with the A's on top, 4th inning. Big swing by Larkin, 1 and 2.
This is why an error was attributed to Dave Henderson, because Oster stops on the throw, and now the ball gets by Hasse, and Oster continues to second. That's why the error was given.
To the catcher.
Oh, to the catcher.
Yeah.
That's a bad error right there. Whoever gave that error has never tried to catch an in-between hop.
Count goes to 2 and 2 to Larkin, who's 2 for 2 tonight with a single, a double, and 2 runs scored. Tying run at second, 2 out. Long game for Bob Welch. And the easy out for McGuire, and the Reds are still a run shy. And now here we go into the bottom of the 5th, and a foul ball goes out of play off the bat of Billy Hatcher. Here's Billy Hatcher, and he's trying to tie a World Series record. And he bunts the ball. This will be a tough play. 6 hits in a row for Hatcher. Three hits last night, plus a walk. 3 hits tonight on the bunt single. Tying run on in the bottom of the 5th inning.
6 straight hits ties him with Goose Goslin, who did it in 1924 for the Senators. Thurman Munson did it against the Reds in '76. The 6th consecutive hit for Billy Hatcher, his 7th consecutive time on base. 6 hits and a walk. Remarkable.
And it brings up O'Neill, who's 0 for 2 this inning. Oakland leading 4-3, 5th inning. Hatcher a base stealing threat. Welch steps off. Some of those photographs, all of those photographs at Cincinnati, by Heinz Kutzmeyer. Some wonderful work to show you this city from a different angle. In the top of this inning, look out, it was the first time either team had gone down 1-2-3.
I don't think there's anybody in baseball that throws to first base more than Bob Welch. Remember, we said last night, Tony La Russa loves to call a step off for a pitcher and throws to first base.
Ball 1 to Paul O'Neill. In case you look at Welch and say he looks big. He's 6'3". There's a pop fly to the second base position, Willie Randolph. That's the first out, so O'Neill failed to advance the runner.
We told you about Billy Hatcher tying a record for consecutive hits. Goose Goslin did it for the Senators. And then Thurman Munson. And then Billy Hatcher.
The Cincinnati club is still trying to overcome that 3rd inning. When they had a single and a double to start the frame, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and failed to score. Here is Eric Davis, 0 for 2 with an RBI.
What was that old line about the Washington Senators? First in war, first in peace, last in the American League.
Goose Goslin. I haven't heard that name in a long while. Reminds you of Goose Gossage. This plate umpire, Rocky Rowe, reminds us of Rocky Bridges, who played here. Rocky Nelson, Rocky Colavito. And a lot of Rockies who didn't have that name who played this game.
Rocky Roman numeral 1 through 5.
Up and in to Davis. Eric hit that powerful home run here last night. And Cincinnati won the game 7-0. Tonight the A's lead 4-3, bottom of the 5th. Hatcher might do some running. 1 on, 1 out. Uh-oh. Out! And no argument. Hatcher had lengthened his lead and had an idea, and Welch picks off what would be the tying run. 2 out.
Watch the right foot of Billy Hatcher. You see that little move with the right foot? And he knew it, that if Welch threw over there, even though the tag appeared to be high, you see the right foot, when that right foot goes up, yeah, the tag, he's out easily at first base. Big pickoff by Bob Welch.
Davis with the bases empty now. And that's ball 2. Well, Billy Hatcher has done a lot of things, but just was picked off with Davis at the plate, and that hurt Cincinnati. Pops him up for the final out with Willie Randolph set to catch it. And 5 innings have been played. He is the 4th pitcher of the night for Lou Piniella. The batter is Ron Hasse. Ball 1 and a foul. Hasse drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning, and he is 0 for 2 in this game. Strike 2. Charlton is one of the nasty boys.
One of the 3. His first appearance in the World Series. He was credited with the win last Friday night, coming in and throwing 5 pitches and retiring 3 Pirates in that game in which the Reds clinched the National League pennant.
A hit for Hasse against the left-handed pitcher. This is an extremely important inning for Charlton. His club's trailing by a run. The A's have that wonderful bullpen. We saw Honeycutt a while ago. They have Eckersley. And any more runs will be tough to retrieve.
Good hitting by Hasse. He had already driven in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning. That was the last run that the Athletics have scored.
These A's are murder when they have the lead late in the game, and we're in the 8th. Gallego hits it to 3rd, and they do get the lead runner. Fielder's choice for Gallego. 5-4. Are they going to bat for Welch?
Now he's in a position where he can bunt the runner over. So with Hatcher leading off the bottom of the 8th inning, that looked like a pitch that Gallego might swing at if the hit and run were on, but Hasse wasn't running. The bat almost hits Charlton as Sabo goes for the sure out and gets it.
Now, because one of the beauties of having Rickey Henderson leading off, you can leave Welch in and have him try to bunt the runner over with 1 out here in the 8th. And that ball was almost thrown away by Charlton. With the bat tonight, Bob Welch is 0 for 3. He'll try to move the runner. Gallego a better runner than Hasse. 8 hits for each club. And a bunt. And that does the trick. Second baseman covers. 2 out. Nice bunt by Bob Welch.
Got a lot of tributes on his cap, doesn't he?
Yeah. Strike to Rickey. He is singled. Rounded out twice. Walk. 1 for 3. Gallego at second. 2 out. Strike 2. And 2. Leadoff single by Hasse. Runner at second. 2 out.
Infielders are reminded in a situation like this, especially on the rug, to play deep and knock the ball down if you can't make a play on it. The problem with playing deep is you've got Rickey Henderson who can fly. So you can't play too deep, but on a ball in the hole, if you can't make the play, make sure you knock it down to save the run.
Charlton in his first inning of work. Fly ball to short left field, and Davis is there. And we still have a 4-3 game. 9 left for the A's, but they're on top by 1. The commish has enjoyed the game here this evening. A 4-3 affair. A lot of things to talk about in this game. He's a big fan of the game, and there's the Oakland bullpen with Dennis Eckersley joining Rick Honeycutt. And Billy Hatcher leads off. Hits it foul. He's trying to set a record here.
I think it'll be Honeycutt before Eckersley, and Honeycutt will probably pitch. We talked about it before the game last night. Paul O'Neill, the left-handed batter, is on deck, and Honeycutt has that look in his eye like he's going in the game for the next hitter.
Hatcher flies to right field, and Canseco cannot. It's off his glove. Hatcher's going to end up at third with nobody out. Tying run. Tim, you can't tell me that Jose Canseco is at full speed health-wise. He hasn't made any plays out there tonight.
No, that's exactly right. Back problems bothering Canseco. Remarkable athlete. Normally he makes that play.
See, he can't even stop and turn around and chase the ball.
Right. It is fielded by Dave Henderson. The 7th consecutive hit for Billy Hatcher. The 8th straight time he's been on base.
And O'Neill spins away from ball 1. And La Russa with a tying run at third makes no change.
You a little surprised?
That shocks me.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Infield in. Ball 2. With nobody out. And the infield in tight to try to cut down the tying run. O'Neill, no hits in the series to this point. 0 for 3, 0 for 5. Ball 3. And a talk at the mound. Eric Davis waits to bat next. Earlier in this game, 3rd inning, Cincinnati had runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and did not score. Bob Welch will try to perform the same magic. There's Hatcher, nobody out. The Reds' 3, 4, and 5 hitters are 0 for 9 tonight. There was a new World Series record by Hatcher. Ball 4. Ball double play ties the game.
Right.
Fly ball will tie the game. The runner tags at first also. Oh, they stopped him. Hatcher stopped, and that's the first out of the inning.
A terrible throw after he makes this catch from moderately deep right field.
And that play brings Tony La Russa to the mound. With a terrible throw by Canseco way up the line. Hatcher would have walked home.
Obviously, with 1 out or 2 outs, he tries to score. If that were the 2nd out, he would try to score. But since there are no outs, too conservative, I agree 100% with you.
We get the left-hander Honeycutt. New pitcher is Rick Honeycutt. Paul O'Neill still at first. 1 out. 4-3 A's, bottom of the 8th. And a pinch hitter for the Reds. For Hal Morris is going to be the right-handed batter, Glenn Braggs. First and third, 1 out. Middle infielders back looking for 2. The Reds Reds begging for at least a fly ball.
They just had one.
You're right. What a shocker that was. That'll be a second guess play. Ball one to Glenn Braggs. Catcher started the inning with a triple. O'Neill walked, and they stayed as Davis flied out. At the plate, it's Braggs. Don't overlook that big item that Davis did fly out to short right with those men at first and third. The last night's hero didn't deliver. And a ball up the middle, and will they get a double play? No, and we are tied. Needed a perfect bounce and didn't get it.
Oh, he got a true bounce, but he was too far on the other side of second base. He can't stop his momentum to come back and tag second. He has to slide, or he has to tag the sliding O'Neill, and by the time he recovers, Braggs slides into first. Brother.
That run charged to Welsh, and we're tied at 4 here in the 8th inning.
With Braggs hitting the ground like that, that was 4.5 on the Richter scale.
On the anniversary of the earthquake. So now the bullpens will decide this game. The batter is Sabo. Base hit. Sabo gets his second hit.
Honeycutt gets a lot of ground balls. He got a ground ball from Braggs. It wasn't hit hard enough, nor to the right spot. And now he gets another one. That's laced into left field by Sabo.
Oliver doubled in this game. He's 1 for 3 tonight, 1 for 7 in the series. To the third baseman, Lansford, and the force out to win the inning. And we're tied going into the ninth. Dibble pitching to Lansford in the dirt, ball 1. We have a new first baseman, Benzinger, and Dibble on the mound. Benzinger batting in the number 9 spot. Dibble bats 5th. Lansford has sacrificed, and he's 0 for 3. On deck, it's Canseco. 9th inning, 4-4. Ball 2.
I think if you're Lansford, you take here and make him throw a strike.
Ball 3.
You might take 2 more. If it goes to 3-1, make him throw a strike.
And Lansford is that sort of hitter. He blistered that one in there, 3-1. And a fly ball looks like it's going to drop. It does. It's a base hit. Well, Rob Dibble, what do you think about pitching to the likes of Jose Canseco? What does it mean to you?
It's a blast for me. I mean, I've always loved to play, and playing in this kind of atmosphere, I think, you know, it's everybody's dream. And so I'm just happy to be here, and no matter who they throw up, you know, there to hit off me, I'm just going to go out there with a smile on my face, whether or not I do my job or not. You know, I just thank God that I'm in this situation.
Well, he's not only in a situation, he's in a spot. Lansford not going, and a double play ball maybe. There's 1, 2.
A Dibble double play.
A double dip, Dibble double play. And the batter, McGuire, you know what he's thinking with 2 out in the 9th. Ball 1. McGuire's had 2 hits and a walk this inning. There's a strike. The Reds tied it in the 8th, and Dibble's trying to give his team a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th. McGuire has other ideas. 2-1. Two and two.
Sabo right on the line with good reason. McGuire 28 home runs against right-handed pitching this year. Prevent the double. Hug the line.
We're still tied. And Duncan took some of the air out of the ballpark with that swing. Lansford, with Duncan up, has to play on the line and in to guard against the bunt and also to try to take away the extra base hit.
You're at a disadvantage both ways. You're playing tight and you're on the line. Wide open hole on the left side.
Low, a run wins it for Cincinnati. 4-4, bottom of the 9th. Duncan, Benzinger, and then Larkin will bat. Duncan 0 for 2 with a walk tonight.
That was against the right-hander, Bob Welch.
Honeycutt got the final 2 outs in the 8th inning. Ball 2.
Certainly not a question of numbers. Tony La Russa has any number of relievers to turn. Todd Burns, Eckersley, you're not going to go to him in a tie ball game. Gene Nelson, Scott Sanderson, Joe Klink, the only lefty remaining.
And Lansford was in the right spot, wasn't he? 1 out. 1 gone. Pretty well hit. Henderson has it 2 out. What a great play by Rickey Henderson. For the 2nd out, Benzinger thought he had something. 2 gone. Woo.
So did everybody else in this ballpark. Forgetting the remarkable instincts of Rickey Henderson. This ball hit hard, not a lot of hang time. Henderson has to get back and react.
Whoa, look at that thing in the
Snow cone.
snow cone.
Snow cone, watch.
Thank you, Mr. Rawlings. And he says hello to the wall. Base hit for Larkin with 2 out. Do you think that Billy Hatcher could possibly do some more here tonight?
This ball laced up the middle by Larkin. Now you have a very interesting situation again. Honeycutt with a great move. All of Hatcher's hits, Jack, have been against right-handed pitchers.
Oh, you're waiting for the
Larkin watches it get away. The winning runs at second, 2 out.
That ball, I believe, sailed on Mark McGuire. The ball ends up hitting the heel of the glove and bounces over near the Reds dugout. And I believe you've got to walk Billy Hatcher here. No way you pitch to him as hot as he's been.
I'm sure that's true. And it rains here in Cincinnati. They're going to walk Hatcher. Well, this will be 9 times in a row that he has reached base.
Well, think about this. If Honeycutt knows that he's going to walk Hatcher, if Larkin does try to steal, then you got to think that Larkin is less apt to steal. So why are you throwing that many times to first base? And eventually, it was the error on Mark McGuire that allowed Larkin to get to second base. So it's really strange that he was thrown over there to begin with.
Let's hear from Jim Cott. Jim?
Well, Jack and Tim, as Tim mentioned, walking Hatcher. And Lou Piniella has a right-hand hitter getting loose in his dugout. Terry Lee, and immediately Tony La Russa sends Dennis Eckersley. As Timmy said, he likes to save him for save situations, but Eckersley now getting ready in a hurry should Piniella elect to make a move.
Paul O'Neill is up. Eckersley in the A's bullpen. Honeycutt gave up a 2-out hit to Larkin, then the walk after the error. O'Neill could win it. Ball 1. Breaking ball in there, 1-1. Honeycutt is tough, Tim, against left-handed batters.
Absolutely.
O'Neill in the hole, 1-2. Another low breaking ball.
The slider we were talking about, and Paul O'Neill giving way with that left side. Well, that was a nasty, quick, late-breaking slider from Honeycutt.
Rick is trying to send the game into extra innings. Fly ball to deep center, and there's Henderson. Here we go into the 10th. 2 left for the Reds, who have left 8. We have played 9, and we're tied at 4. And the leadoff batter is Dave Henderson. This is the first extra inning game in a World Series since Game 6, the Mets and the Red Sox in '86. And a swinging strike, and this batter, Henderson, led off the 10th with a home run in that game. So a chance for him to repeat.
Here's a situation where I don't think you ought to be on the line. It used to be in baseball, you guard the line all the time in 8 innings. Think about the elements here. Dave Henderson, a straightaway hitter, the outfield straightaway. Rob Dibble throwing 99 miles an hour. What are the chances of Henderson pulling a ball down the line? Not too great.
He's had 2 hits and a walk tonight. Out of play, 1-2. You're right, Tim. He didn't catch up with that one and hit it foul. Lou Piniella told us with regard to Dibble that he likes Dibble to work 2 innings, 2 innings, 2 innings. No more. This is his 2nd inning of work. Two and 2.
I think it makes more sense to guard the line at first base than it does at third base because of Dibble's speed. And sure enough, Todd Bensinger's on the line at first.
Dave Henderson pops it up to the right side. The right fielder O'Neill has it for the out. Well, that's all we needed in this one was extra innings. Very exciting game here at Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. Here's Willie Randolph, 0 for 3 with a walk. And they still guard the line at first and third. Look out up here. And that foul ball came into the booth. This telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball. May not be reproduced or transmitted in any form without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. 2 out. As Randolph flies to Hatcher. And Dibble will be pitching to the left-handed hitter Ron Hasse. In case you're wondering, Hasse had 5 home runs during the season. 1 for 2 tonight. Dibble to Hasse. Dibble is probably half certain that this will be his final inning of work.
He's the second hitter scheduled up second in the bottom of the 10th inning.
So he'll let it all hang out to Hesse. And he guides one over the head of Larkin for a 2-out hit. Good piece of hitting by Hesse, his second hit of the night.
It was a good piece of hitting by Hesse, and now there's going to be a pinch runner employed, possibly, or a pinch hitter, or both. Harold Baines is moving about in the Oakland dugout. Nice try by Barry Larkin. Ron Hesse's had a good night. A couple of hits, sacrifice fly, and an RBI.
And Baines is going to be the hitter. And here comes the pinch runner. And that's the rookie Mike Bordick, the infielder who was added to the squad when Walt Weiss was injured. So Bordick will run for Hesse. Pinch runner here in the 10th. Harold Baines, who joined the club just the latter part of August. He will bat for Gallego, and we'll see Bordick into the game. And down in the bullpen in case the A's grab the lead here is Dennis Eckersley. Baines batting here in the 10th inning. And that brings out Lou Piniella, and he'll impart some information to Dibble. It's an advantage that Piniella has managing the Reds, but totally familiar with the American League. A base hit by Hesse was the 10th for the A's. The Reds have 11. Each team 2 errors and each team 4 runs. Cincinnati had a chance in the bottom of the 9th.
Lou Piniella has Randy Myers and Rick Naylor left in the bullpen.
Baines watches one go high. The Reds have used Jackson, Scudder, Armstrong, Charlton, and Dibble.
You do have an off day tomorrow. I guess you could consider that if you intend to use Dibble more than 2 innings tonight.
There's the strike to even the count, 1-1. Dibble in his second inning of work has given up his second hit. Willie McGee selects a bat. And McGee will bat for the pitcher if this 10th inning continues.
It's smart of Tony La Russa to use Baines with more extra base hit power to try to drive in Bordick from first, and if Baines does get a single, then McGee is more inclined to get a single to drive in the run.
1 ball, 2 strikes. It's tough enough to come off the bench, but to come off the bench and try to hit Dibble is something else.
First World Series at bat for a great hitter right here, Harold Baines.
A strike from Eckersley. He follows Welch and Honeycutt to the hill. Davis 0 for 4. Stu right 2. Willie McGee has also entered the game. He's in center field. To the shortstop. Bordick just into the game and 1 out.
I'll tell you, something else has transpired in this ballpark that is unbelievable. Tom Browning, who is slated for the start in Game 3, as you see Bill Bates, he'll be the pinch hitter for Rob Dibble. We just learned that Tom Browning earlier left the ballpark. His wife went into labor. The Reds clubhouse called up to Marty Brenneman, the local radio announcer here in Cincinnati. He's been doing Reds baseball for 17 years, asking Marty to make a public announcement and tell Tom, there's Marty right there to the left of your screen, and tell Tom Browning to return to the ballpark. And Marty Brenneman made that announcement because Lou Piniella might be out of pitchers, and he may be thinking of using Tom Browning in the game tonight. I've never heard of anything that unusual happen in a ball game.
Wow. The pitch to Bates is strike 2 from Dennis Eckersley. Crowd behind home plate trying to help the umpire. Bates spoils one.
Tell you, I've heard of a lot of things happen in a baseball game, but I've never heard of that.
And a high chopper, and this will be close. It's a base hit for Bates. Lansford did all he could. Might have thrown him out had he gloved the ball, but couldn't come up with it.
Bates coming over to the Cincinnati Reds from the Milwaukee Brewers. Once this ball bounces the second time, forget it. Bates runs too well. His first hit in postseason play, his first at bat, his only other appearance in a game when he was thrown out as the trail runner in Game 1 when the Reds lost to the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3 in the National League Championship Series. What a ball game.
What are the odds that Bates would get a hit against Eckersley? What will Sabo do 1-on, 1-out? Bates is a threat to run. He's a very good runner. Steinbach doing the catching. 4-4, bottom of the 10th. And a strike on the inside corner to Sabo, who's 2 for 4. And Eckersley came close to balking. He didn't stop very long. Base hit by Sabo, his 3rd hit of the night. The winning run's at second with 1 out.
Arnie Lansford on the line at third base. He'll move off the line now with Bates at second. That ball hit sharply into left field. Doubtful that Lansford gets to that ball if he were playing normally.
So just as in the 9th inning, here in the 10th, a hit might win the game for the Reds, and La Russa talks with his battery plus Willie Randolph.
This is great. Calling hospitals, trying to get pitchers in the game and double switches and everything. You gotta love it.
And the batter is Joe Oliver. He made the last out in the 8th inning and left 2 on. He has had 1 for 4. A's want the double play to send us into the 11th. Oliver wants the hit to win it. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead, 2 games to none.
Bounces on the line when it goes over the bag. I think it's safe to say that Tom Browning, you don't need to come to the ballpark.
And Bates scores the winning run in a 5-4 Cincinnati victory. They beat Stewart last night. Well started tonight, and they beat Eckersley. What are the odds of Cincinnati being 2-0? What a moment for Joe Oliver, who persevered for a long time in the minor leagues before making the grade. What a moment.